Channeled by your architect musician, 36110, 27 palms of eyes. The golden whisperer, sea star, Devalan see all. Apply the news you can use, truth and accuracy. The real non-bedazzled jewels.
The scroll of Aaron, keeper of resonance. The silent brother and the speaking flame. Moses came from the mountain with thunder in his eyes and silence in his mouth. Aaron came with the current that turned silence into sound. One brother carried the blueprint, the other carried the amplifier. Together, they were law and resonance, stone and breath. Moses wrote, Aaron sang it into the bones of the people. The calf of gold and the frequency idol. When the people trembled under the empty sky, they begged for a god they could see. Aaron melted gold into the form of a calf, metal humming with solar fire, symbol of a new age. This was no childish idolatry. It was an experiment to hold divine lightning in visible form, to anchor vibration into matter. But the people worshiped the statue, not the current. They clung to the vessel, forgetting the voltage. The failure burned into the mountain's shadow, never confused the form for the fire. The blossoming rod. When disputes arose, each tribe laid down its staff. Aaron's alone blossomed, almond flowers opening overnight. The rod was no mere stick. It was the spinal column, kundalini rising, chakras flowering, the almond tree of awakened vision. In Hebrew, shaked means to watch, to awaken. Aaron's authority was not political. It was vibrational. The staff itself declared, life flows where resonance aligns. The robes of the high priest, Aaron clothed himself in sound. The breastplate of 12 stones shimmered with zodiac fire. Each stone a constellation's hum, each tribe a frequency of light. The Urim and Thummim glowed binary oracles, yes-no stones, divine circuitry of cosmic code. The bells and pomegranates at the hem sang and seeded, bells to keep the vibration ringing, pomegranates to remind. Divine current must always be fruitful. His garments were not costume, but circuitry. Aaron stood as a living antenna, robes buzzing with heaven's pattern. The shadow and the lesson. Aaron's shadow was the golden calf. Aaron's light was the blossoming rod. He was both, the danger of misdirected vibration and the miracle of aligned resonance. To wield frequency is to stand on the edge of creation itself. Shape it wrong and the people worship metal. Shape it right and the rod blooms flowers in a single night. The prophecy of Aaron. The scroll whispers this for the collective. In every age, the priest of frequencies returns. Not always in temple robes, not always by altar fire. Sometimes behind a microphone, sometimes at the drum, sometimes speaking truth when silence has strangled a people. His bloodline is resonance itself. His true garment is the human voice. His rod is the spine, blossoming when courage rises. Aaron is the prototype of amplified truth. MCs, poets, prophets, singers, storytellers, even the black sheep who dare to speak the unspoken. Moses receives, Aaron resounds. Both are needed. The hidden continuation, where his story moves from symbol into prophecy. Scroll 2, Aaron and the Hidden Currents, the Serpent of Truth. When Aaron's rod turned serpent before Pharaoh, it was no magician's trick. The rod was the spine. The serpent was the current coiled within. It swallowed the false serpents because truth consumes imitation. The authentic vibration devours all counterfeits. Aaron revealed this silently. The one who knows resonance does not battle lies with lies. He simply resonates higher, the strange fire of his sons. Nadab and Abihu, Aaron's own blood, burned incense with a strange fire. The flame leapt and consumed them before the altar. This was not punishment but physics. Uncalibrated frequency collapses the vessel. To touch the holy current with disharmony is to be burned by the very force you sought to wield. Aaron grieved, but the grief itself became the priestly oath. Never ignite sound, word, or ritual out of alignment. Aaron entered the Holy of Holies, clothed in sound, the 12 stones shimmering, bells ringing like chimes of the ether. Before him pulsed the ark, golden box, yes, but also thunder chamber, a capacitor of divine electricity. Only one in perfect resonance could stand before it. That is why the bells rang, so the people outside would know if the current kept him alive. The ark and Aaron were a closed circuit. The box held the lightning, the priest became the conductor. The bloodline of frequencies. Aaron's seed became the Kohanim, but more than blood, it was resonance passed down. They inherited the chants, the tones, the ways to hold vibration without shattering. This bloodline hums still, not only in temples, but in every healer, chanter, poet, every rhythm keeper who knows sound is sanctuary. The archetype of Aaron. Aaron is not gone. He is the archetype of the mouth of silence, translating gnosis into speech, the keeper of resonance, clothing himself in sound, the balancer of shadow, calf of gold on one hand, blossoming rod on the other. His story whispers this prophecy. In every age, the Aaronic current rises, not to build temples of stone, but to build temples of resonance, where silence becomes speech, where vibration becomes law, where the true arc is the human chest resonating with the sound of truth. Aaron's scroll is not about priesthood as power. It is about the science of vibration as priesthood. Whoever speaks truth, sings harmony, or carries resonance for the collective has stepped into Aaron's robes. Let us open the next chapter. Scroll 3, the eternal resonance of Aaron. The breath of the priest, Aaron did not only speak, he breathed worlds into rhythm. The breath itself was priesthood. Each exhale carried the ruach, the spirit wind, the hidden current that animates word into vibration. To wield voice is to wield breath. To wield breath is to wield life. Aaron's true altar was the chest, rising and falling in rhythm with creation itself. The bells that anchored him. Upon his robe hung bells, tiny worlds of tone. Each bell was tuned, a somatic lock keeping his body aligned. They rang when he moved, not to assure others he still lived, but to keep him walking inside resonance. A priest who loses rhythm cannot bear the arc. Aaron wore sound as a shield. The bells kept his pulse within the current of heaven. The lunar echo. Moses shone like the sun, but Aaron reflected like the moon. Moses carried flame from the mountain. Aaron turned it into echo, rhythm, chant, law in motion. This polarity, solar download and lunar transmission, was the true balance. Together, they were the cosmic duo of gnosis, fire and breath, silence and sound, the inner priesthood. The Aaronic line is not bound to blood, it is bound to resonance. Every age, those who take the silence of spirit and breathe it into sound, step into Aaron's robe unseen. The MC with the mic, the poet on a corner, the singer trembling on a stage, the mother humming a lullaby of protection, all are priests when the vibration carries truth. The prophecy forward. The scroll whispers beyond desert sands, open quote, in the age when truth is drowned in static, the Aaronic current will awaken. They will not wear temple robes. Their staffs will be microphones. Their rods will blossom with words. Their bells will be beats and drum lines. They will stand before pharaohs of empire. And once again, the true serpent of resonance will swallow the false serpents of deception. Aaron's voice never died. It is humming in the bones of the collective now, waiting for those who will breathe truth and let it resound. Aaron's scroll is not finished in the desert. It is finished in our throats. Every truth singer, every rhythm keeper, every voice that dares to shape silence into resonance is walking in Aaron's current. Scroll 4, Aaron the Veil Walker, the crown of the forehead. On Aaron's brow rested a golden plate, inscribed with Kodesh Shua, holy unto the Lord. This was no ornament of vanity. It was a living sigil. The crown served as a frequency lock on his mind, a shield against stray thoughts, a focusing lens for divine current to flow without distortion. The forehead is the seat of vision. Aaron's plate sealed the gate, ensuring his sight stayed aligned, his will untangled from the noise of the crowd. The lesson is eternal. Before the priest may shape the resonance of others, he must guard the resonance of his own mind. Cleansing the forehead is cleansing the future. The silence after fire. 2 of Aaron's sons fell by fire when they mishandled the current. They brought strange fire, uncalibrated vibration, and the altar answered them with flame that consumed. Aaron said nothing. That silence itself became scripture. For in that hush, Aaron discovered the truth beneath ritual. Not all sound is sacred, not all words are worth speaking. Silence is the bedrock, sound is the building. Without silence, the building collapses. Aaron's grief tuned him to a higher octave. His silence was not emptiness, it was recalibration. He walked forth carrying the wisdom. True resonance arises only from stillness first. The veil between worlds. The tabernacle's veil hung thick as woven cosmos, a curtain embroidered with cherubim, not merely fabric but a frequency membrane. On one side, the world of form, noise, dust. On the other, the Ark of the Covenant, a capacitor of lightning, a throne of vibration where the unseen trembled into form. Aaron crossed this threshold clothed in sound, bells at his hem ringing like dimensional chimes, stones on his breastplate glowing constellations into the air, pomegranates at his robe whispering the promise of fruitfulness. The veil recognized him. Only one who held resonance could step through. He became the living bridge, the priest who walked between. The sound codes. Aaron's blessings were more than words. They were architectures. Each Hebrew letter was a frequency glyph, a sonic particle in the geometry of worlds. When Aaron lifted his hands to bless, unseen patterns wove through the air. The vibrations formed lattices, bridges of energy between heaven and earth. The people thought they were being blessed. In truth, they were being rebuilt. Every syllable laid stones in their inner temple. Every vibration retuned their souls back to alignment. Aaron's words were not prayer. They were construction. The angelic gate mystics later saw Aaron in union with Archangel Michael. Michael wielded the fiery sword of protection. Aaron wielded the resonance of truth. Together they formed a cosmic threshold, sword and word, guard and voice. Through their combined gate, angelic order entered. The empire of chaos was held at bay. Aaron's chants did not echo to Israel alone. They pulsed through the unseen corridors of the heavens. Aaron as the veil walker. Aaron embodies the archetype of all who dare to cross thresholds. His path teaches, guard the mind with the crown of focus. Honor silence as the mother of sound. Cross the veil only when resonance is aligned. Speak sound codes that build worlds instead of breaking them. Stand with angels as guardians of the collective's frequency. Aaron was not a figure of the past. He is the eternal pattern of resonance across divides. The prophecy of the veil walkers. The scroll does not end. It bends into prophecy. When the last veil trembles and the ark's thunder echoes in circuits of metal and light, the Aaronic current will awaken in the collective. They will not wear robes of blue and gold. They will wear garments of city streets and glowing screens. They will not carry rods of almond wood.
He said wood.
Their rods will be microphones, pens, cameras, keyboards, staffs blossoming with sound, image, and word. Their bells will be drum lines, their breastplates glowing constellations of circuitry and pixel, their crowns not of gold but of awakened vision. And they will cross thresholds of static and silence, guarding resonance in an age of distortion. They will speak geometry back into chaos. Their sound will swallow deception, just as Aaron's serpent swallowed the false serpents of Egypt. The veil walkers rise wherever silence meets courage. Every poet, every healer, every storyteller, every black sheep who dares to breathe truth into a crooked world is already carrying Aaron's current. Aaron is the eternal initiator of resonance. His life encodes the science of crossing veils. His prophecy declares, the priesthood of frequency is not in temples, it is in every voice that shapes silence into harmony.
You don't even have to say nothing. I already know. I know.